Hi friends, welcome or welcome back. My name is Nikki. Today we're going to be talking about analog bags, what they are, the kind of cultural hype around them, what's in my analog bag, and just my general thoughts on the whole thing. But in general, an internet trend that's heart is in the right place that I can get behind. Now, in execution, there have been some ways that people have been going through and making their analog bags that, maybe need a bit more guiding. But in general, let's just get right into it. Before we do, though, let me address the elephant in the room. Yes, I did break my nail. Yeah, I was gonna just repair it, but I'm redoing my nails in 2 days anyway, so yeah. Oh, and a few months ago I got a haircut. It was bad. The lady did exactly what I asked for and it was so bad. Anyway, and nothing else. Actually, no, I did literally break my clavicle snowboarding. This was a few weeks ago. I am gonna take this off because I'm getting quite warm, and this is like, this just doesn't have vibe, and I'm not gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna be crazy. It'll be fine. Whoa. So, what are analog bags? Analog bags are basically exactly what you think they are. Bags full of things that aren't your phone or the internet. This in and of itself, very wholesome, very good idea. It's driven by young people's motivations to get off their phone. I think this idea of brain rot and jokes about our generation that hit like a little bit too close to home, the idea of being chronically online, has all kind of snowballed into this deep desire for us all to get off our phones and live our lives a little bit more. That being said, times are tough, and so I don't think everyone's answer to being on their phone too much is just simply getting out more, which is because that's what I feel like is kind of the disconnect, where it's like, oh, like if you want to get off your phone, just put it down. Said no one ever, because I think more than younger people are addicted to their phones. Older people, I see you, grandma, freaking on Facebook playing Candy Crush. You're joking. You're joking. Grandma has more screen time than I do. I mean, given she's scrolling conspiracy theories on Facebook and probably playing solitaire online. But still, the point being that everyone in general is addicted to their phone. And I think Gen Z's propensity to focus on the self has, given into this whole like self-care and wellness culture. And unfortunately, a lot of us have come to terms with the fact that a part of wellness and self-care is caring enough about ourselves to actually spend time doing things we love instead of numbing our brains, which, I feel like is fair to say is certainly a thing. If I'm chronically online, the answer isn't to call up my friends and all go out for dinner and for drinks, because in this economy, no way. Absolutely not. And so I think that was such a barrier for a lot of people of like, well, guess I have nothing to do outside. It's either sit on my phone or do nothing. And there comes the analog bag. A bag of things that you can do that is not be on your phone. Inherently, at face value, the idea of an analog bag is fantastic. I mean, investing time into your hobbies, doing something you love, hell yeah. Absolutely hell yeah. But I think as online culture and especially platforms like TikTok and short form media tend to do, it's kind of taken what should be a beautiful thing and twisted it. Unfortunately, I feel like the idea of an analog bag has become consumeristic. It's the idea that well, I want to get off my phone more and be more cool. So I should go buy that book I've seen everybody reading. And I obviously need an MP3 player or an iPod. I should buy one of those. I should need to buy wired headphones. And I've seen a lot of people crocheting. So I'm going to pick up my yarn and crochet hook and I'm going to learn how to do that. And I'm going to keep a diary. I'm going to keep a journal. I'm going to keep a junk journal and a regular journal. And I'm going to keep a book of Sudokus. And I'm never going to go on my phone again. That being said, how do I crochet? How do I know which book I want to read? I need to go online and figure this out. And then, you quickly, the joy of buying all of these things fades. And what you're left with is a bag full of stuff you'll never touch and still a phone addiction. Ah! You'll see it now if you look up analog bag. A lot of it is like analog bag haul. Put together an analog bag with me. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. The idea of wanting to get offline is so important. And as someone who spends a lot of time offline, as evidenced by this beautiful sweater I'm wearing. I wore jeans specifically so I could show off. Here's my sweater that I made. You can't do this while scrolling TikTok. That blanket back there, I've talked about it before because I adore it and it's my magnum opus. I can't do that while scrolling on my phone. I've spent a lot of time hating scrolling, trying to break that habit, still doing it. And I feel like I've only now, in the last year or so, started to develop a healthy relationship with scrolling, in that I spend, maybe 10, 15 minutes a day scrolling, and the rest of the time on my phone is like watching a YouTube video while I knit, or having on some podcast, or I'm going to show you something I'm working on in a little bit, like a sweater I'm working on, and I needed a color chart to work on it, and so I had my phone pulled up like while I was working on it. My screen time has never been higher because I was referencing my phone the whole time. I should have printed it out like a grandma, but that was just an extra step and I didn't want to do that. And my screen time when I was working on this sweater, which I still am, but I'm at a different part of it that doesn't need a color chart, is so bad. Really embarrassing. That being said, this is all productive times. I don't think phones are evil if you're using them. Like right now I'm using my phone. Is it evil? Is it sapping up my free time? My phone right now is the vessel that I'm using to pursue a hobby. I think there's layers, there's nuance, don't take your phone and throw it away. In general, I do think unfettered access to the internet is bad, but whatever. If you want to start an analog bag, here's my greatest piece of advice. If you're trying to quit your phone cold turkey and go straight to only pursuing hobbies, you're gonna have a hard time. If you haven't picked up a book in years and you want to get back into it, you're gonna have a hard time. And that's okay, that's normal. Our brains get overloaded and then we have to fix them. My trick when I was starting to wean myself off of just like mindlessly being on my phone all the time was to treat myself a bit like a toddler whose favorite toy was getting taken away. You replace it with something that is maybe a little less toxic, and so on and so forth. When I stopped scrolling, the main way I broke that habit was playing video games, which aren't like crazy. It's not like, it's not the most overstimulating thing in the world, but I would play a video game and I wouldn't have anything going on in the background. I wouldn't watch a YouTube video. I would play a game and I would just be playing that game, and that was it. I know it seems crazy, right? But after that, I started picking up shorter books, shorter stories that I could read, like The Stranger and, oh, what's it called? This horror surreal thing. And now I've read already like 3, almost 4 books this year, which is certainly off to a better start than I was last year. And so on and so forth. I still have hobbies, like my knitting, for example. My knitting is something that I could specifically look at a screen, like watch a show or a YouTube video, and I can knit. You know, that's doing something with my hands while my brain is paying attention. But I have other hobbies like crochet, or along the line of my fiber arts, spinning. This is a drop spindle. You can use it to spin yarn. Look how good that looks. It only looks good. Wait. Okay. So this was my first little hank. You can kind of see it there. And then this is my latest one. Oh my god. It kind of looks like a turd, but I love it. You know, that is something that it's working with both of my hands and all of my attention. I can maybe have some music on in the background, but it's important to kind of ramp your brain down. I think quitting anything cold turkey is really hard. I think your phones and short form media, which is built to be addictive, it's designed to be interesting and hyper-stimulating, and it's a dopamine bomb, you know, and doing things you love that aren't that is just like a slower form of dopamine. And our brains are like, hey man, that was really rewarding, why don't we go back to doing that? And so when you're fighting these 2 wolves inside of you, one of them is stupid and the other one is dumb, and you have to just wean yourself off, unfortunately, is my opinion. I'm going to show you what is in my analog bag, which is really just my knitting bag. And I'm also going to talk a bit about, because I have a lot of like the popular stuff, okay? I have a lot of the things people are like, I got this for my analog bag, because I for a long time have been trying to use my phone less. Number 1, MP3 player. I got my wired headphones and everything. I love this thing. I don't use it enough. That's because if I'm out and about, I'm not usually like listening to music, or when I am listening to music, it's like whatever is my like hyperfixation for the week. Right now, I've been exclusively listening to the soundtrack for Shipbreaker. I tried playing that game and it made me so motion sick I needed to hurl. So I don't play it, but the soundtrack is incredible, and so that's all I've been listening to. And so this has been underloved, but I want to use it more. I collect CDs. I have a lot of CDs. Fun fact, if you have a way to take your CD and put it on your computer, I have like a little CD plug-in thing, because modern computers aren't made with CD ports anymore. I use it to like burn mixtapes, but I also use it to take my CDs that I have and put them on my MP3 player. That's how I got all of the songs on here. It's just burning my CDs that I've collected and putting them on my MP3 player. Very cool. You can connect it to Bluetooth. I preferred the wired headphones because I'm a bit crazy. Next up is my Kindle. I love this thing. My only wish is that I didn't buy a Kindle. I wish I had bought a different e-reader. Why? Because Amazon is evil. But this is what I thought to buy. The whole thing of being able to like download a sample of a book before I buy it has been a game changer. You can also, from my understanding, download an app. It's called Libby. It's for your phone, but you can use your library card to borrow ebooks, and you can upload them to your Kindle and read them on there. Not for like ever. I think after they expire, they would expire on your Kindle too. Unless for some reason you had it in airplane mode. And then you would just have it on your Kindle for free until you turned off airplane mode. But why would you do that? I have been crushing books on my Kindle. I love this thing. It's also discreet. Because sometimes I don't always read in situations or places I'm supposed to, like say at work. Okay. Another huge one is this. Okay, this is my video camera. My boyfriend has like a silver photo camera, digital camera, photo camera, whatever. A silver digital camera that I bought him for his birthday, like the first year we met, and he has used it for every like major outing. We love it. The photos come out so good. It's just some random one I bought off of eBay for like $20. It was not expensive. Maybe I'll like put up some random photos of like stuff we've taken with the camera, but so cute, so nice. I just look over it and it's like click. I'm like, oh, thanks. But this is my little digital camera, also off of eBay, came preloaded with some kids' high school graduation on it. You know, I think this is a fun way of, it makes taking a photo feel more special, which matters for something, in my opinion. Same thing with, it makes a video like feel more special. I'm excited to take this out. Unfortunately, the last few weeks I've been out of commish, so I haven't gotten out much. The last thing in my analog bag is my knitting. A lot of people in this like trend have taken on knitting and crochet as their hobby. I love that. It's a friggin' fish sweater. Okay, I can't hold it up very well because of clavicle, but it's a fish sweater. Isn't that hilarious? I love this project. That's the color work I was talking about. I wish it was a bit higher contrast because I feel like it's definitely hard to see the fish, but in my opinion, it kind of tones down what could be a very loud sweater. So that's what's in my analog bag. Obviously, everyone's an individual. If you have something that you love to do, you would put it in your bag. But at the end of the day, all of these things serve as something to give me back my own time. Every second I'm not wasting on my phone is a second I'm spending doing something I probably like a lot more than some short I won't remember in ever again after watching it. Some of the things people have been putting in their analog bags also make me question if you want to take up like a coloring book or paint by numbers or the little diamonds, the little crystal thing, whatever that's called. All of these things are kind of hard to travel with. I think like keeping a journal and keeping a junk journal is very good. But some of the things I feel like are a bit impractical, and I kind of feel like the whole point of an analog bag, the idea of putting in a bag is to do things out and about instead of being on your phone. So if you're trying to keep it more practical, I would keep it to things that are easily carried about, because if all you've got is your paint by numbers, if you're bored for 15 minutes in a waiting room, you can't bust out your paint by numbers. Just saying. So try to keep a wide variety of things on you. Although also I think the point of an analog bag is to just like have something to reach for. And if you're wanting to have something to reach for, put whatever you want in there. It doesn't matter. I keep my spinning, you know, throwing things. I can't bring this with me everywhere because I would look like a crazy person. And also usually there's like a lot more wool. It's all about having a large variety of hobbies. So if you do get bored of something, you can move on to something else. I've definitely noticed that as I put myself out more And as I try new things and as I do more, I've become a more confident, socially adept person. The person I was a few years ago is not the person I am now. I'm a lot more confident, I'm a lot happier, and a lot of that has to do with going out and experiencing things. You can't experience things with a screen in front of your face. Well, you can, but won't get you far. If you're trying to start an analog bag and be off your phone more, just remember why you're doing it. And know that at the end of the day, if you fall and you get back into your bad habits, you might have fallen off the wagon, but the wagon also stops. And you can just get back on and keep going. I have really bad days where all I want to do is scroll on my phone. And all I do is scroll on my phone. And then I stop and I reset and I get back to doing the things that actually bring me joy. If you like things that are crafty or topical or internet themed or just chatty, make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate you. Anyway, what's in your analog bag? Is there something niche that you're really into that you've not heard of a lot of people doing? I'd say my spinning is one of them for me. I don't know anybody who spins yarn like an old maid spinster. What is something that helps you break your phone habit? What is something that motivates you to get offline? I hope you had a beautiful day and a wonderful time. I love you. Bye.